Jenny, Richard. Good to see you. Hi, good afternoon. I'm Chef Norman Musa, and welcome to Norman and Friends. It's happening every Thursday, so I'm cooking live with my friends from all over Europe, from UK, from France, from the Netherlands, and soon to be from Germany as well. Okay, so today I have a good friend from Newcastle, well, almost close to Newcastle upon Tyne. I will get Graeme to explain to you where exactly that he lives up north of England. Yeah. So and then I'm live on the Instagram as well. So on the Instagram, I'm just gonna be live alone, but on YouTube and Facebook, I'm live with Graeme. Okay. So and again, for my recipe for today, today's recipe is gonna be out in my newsletter next week. So if you haven't signed up to my newsletter, just go to my website www.chefnormanmusa.com. Now let's bring my guest for today, my friend Graeme Fox. Hello, Graeme.
Hi,
good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good. So I'm all excited because both of us are cooking sea bass dishes. So, but this is something really simple that we're gonna show to our viewers, right?
Yeah, it's my sort of Monday night dish. Starting the week off something nice and easy, but super healthy. That all the family can have. Like I say, it's a simple dish. As you can see, not many ingredients here, but it's a good way of kicking off the week the right way.
Good. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a quick introduction about the show, and then after this, I'm going to get you to tell the viewers about yourself. Yeah. So and why they can follow you on the social media and about your recipe as well. Okay. And then once we've done that, so you're gonna start cooking. Yeah, your sea bass dish. Okay. Yeah. So for this show, Norman and Friends happening every Thursday. So if you want to see that who's going to be joining me every Thursday, so you can go to my website, Norman Musa, www.normanmusa.com. You'll see the lineup. So this week I have Graeme, next week Nick from France, and then I'm trying to remember all the name, Jeanette from UK, and then Brian Malo from UK, and then finally from Bada from France. Okay, so it's all like very European, and each of us going to be cooking a dish each, and then you can check with us, with all my guests as well, my friends as well, where they're going to be uploading all the recipes. Okay, so for 60 minutes, there'll be 2 simple dishes that hopefully going to inspire you to cook this dish. Okay, right. So now let's have Graeme to introduce yourself. Then go for it.
Hi. Well, first of all, thanks, Norman, for inviting me to cook along with you. I first sort of was inspired by people like yourselves doing cooking demos quite a few years ago when I worked for a food magazine. Since then, I've started something called Ravenous Fox, which is kind of about my passion about food, but also I love to share food. So my neighbours will testify to this, that something like this they've never tried before. I'll take a dish and take it around next door. This is my Monday night dish with my family. Something really simple, very healthy, and easy enough for everybody to do. So if you like the recipe, it'll be on cooklybookly.com, it'll be on ravenousfox.co.uk, and I will post it on ravenousfox1 on Instagram. So what I'm doing today, no pressure, because Norman's doing a similar dish. With sea bass, I'm doing sea bass with green beans, Chinese chives, a little honey and soy, and a little chili. So it's a very simple dish. Probably take about 15-20 minutes to prepare. So what we'll do first is we'll get the beans on. What I like to do is just blanch the beans first, so they're almost cooked through, a little al dente, and we'll season the water, as you always should.
Yeah. Now, Graeme, before you start, I know you get excited to start already. Because what we're going to do, you can't wait. Okay, no, don't worry. We're going to get you to start because I want to encourage people to interact with us, right? So I want them to ask lots of questions, especially about your dish or so, and of course the most important thing, to tell us where they're watching from, because last time we had someone watching from New York, even from Tokyo. So yeah, so it's a world kind of like a cooking demo actually. So yeah, do let us know where you're watching from. Okay, so now you're ready to start. Okay, go for it then.
Okay, great. So
we're gonna put you on the screen. Yeah,
we've just popped a little bit of boiling water into the pan, and we've salted it. A good pinch of salt. And we're just going to drop the green beans into the water, and they're really going to blanch for about 3 or 4 minutes. That's all. So it's just to take the rawness off the actual beans themselves. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll just prep the chili. So there's, personally, for me speaking, I love a good bit of heat, so I would use a Thai or a bird eye chili. But absolutely, you can use just a standard red chili. I'll use the standard red chili today, but it's very much up to you. If you like something a little bit more spicy, by all means, use the Thai chili. So we'll cook that up nice and fine.
When I saw the number of chilies, I thought you're going to use all of them because
Yeah. My wife would use all of these chilies.
Yeah, I know
she's
many
an absolute chili freak.
Yeah, many of my followers they like spicy food because for my dish I'm just gonna use half of the red chili. So I'm such a coward.
Yeah, we love chilies in our house. If it's Indian food or Asian food or or Mexican, we absolutely love to use chili. So I'm going to use a couple of cloves of garlic. So it's just an accent of garlic. You don't want it too heavy, but just enough to season the beans.
Mm.
I'm very, very lucky, I have to say, where I live in the northeast of England. I'm from a little place called Tynemouth, which is just on the northeast coast. So about sort of 500 yards down this way, we've got a fish quay. So every morning, wonderful fresh fish. I would always say to anybody, if you can, to use your local fish markets or your bread makers or your butchers. Absolutely, probably will cost a couple of pounds more, but absolutely they'll give you the best advice, what's in season, what's good. And I mean, just looking at the fish today, the freshness is absolutely superb.
So how far are you from Newcastle then? Newcastle upon Tyne?
It's about a sort of 15-minute drive.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a short trip to the coast. And obviously, because yesterday was a sunny day, so the population of Tynemouth about tripled because everybody likes to get by the beach on the weekend. So okay, so the chili and the garlic nice and fine.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some Chinese chives here as well. I love these. It's quite a gentle sort of garlicky, spring oniony sort of flavour. It just adds another note of interest to the green beans as well. But I love the fact that we've got sort of the onion, the sharpness. We've got a little bit of honey going into the dish as well, just to give that little bit of sweetness. So the beans are just bubbling away there. I'll just up the power a little bit. So they've probably had about 2.5, 3 minutes. Need a little bit longer. Okay, they're done. Lovely. I'm using a light and a dark soy in the dish. I think a common misconception with soy is that the dark soy is the really strong, salty one, whereas actually the light soy, you'll get that lovely umami flavour from. If you're doing a teriyaki or something and you want the rich darkness, obviously the dark soy is better. But I like to combine the both so you get a bit of both worlds, so you get that nice extra saltiness and a little bit of richness from the dark soy as well. Okay, so the beans will be just about another minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to season lightly the flesh side of the sea bass. When I cook the sea bass in the pan, I'm not going to actually oil the pan. What I'm going to do is just rub a little bit of the oil across the back of the fish and season it as well. Stops the fish sticking because any wetness, if you've not got a really good non-stick pan, if any wetness touches the pan, that's when the skin comes off.
Okay, that's a very good tip, actually. It's a very good tip, yeah.
Okay, my beans are just about there, so I'm going to take those off. Okay, so the beans are done. So they're just quite firm still, a little bit of springiness. But what we're going to do now is we're going to just gently saute off the actual the chili and the garlic. So again, we don't want colour on this. We just literally want to soften very, very gently the the chili and the garlic, because if you burn the garlic, you get that real sort of acrid taste, and it's not nice. So you just want to gently colour, no colour, but gently soften the beans. What I'll do is as well, I'll finish the dish with the chives, because you don't want to cook the chives too long. So literally the last 30 seconds to a minute, I'll drop the chives in with the green beans and the chili and garlic, and we'll season again with the honey that's going to go in. I would never put honey in too early in a dish, because again, if you burn honey, it's got a really sort of bitter flavour. But if it finishes off the dish for the last sort of 30 seconds to a minute, you really get a great flavour from it. So that's just gently cooking away there.
Graeme, so we have a viewer from US, so just say hello from USA. So unfortunately, see, I told you that you're gonna be
everywhere.
And then we have Melissa from The Hague. I'm not so sure whether she's at work today, so she says wonderful. Yeah, so
fantastic. Well, like I say, no pressure. Norman is somebody who I've absolutely looked up to for a number of years now. So the fact that we're both doing sea bass is no pressure on me, because I'm not a professional chef, but what I am is somebody who loves food and trying to make something better at every stage. So whatever you're cooking, if you're cooking onions, how long do you take them? Do you want them dark? Do you want them just coloured? So that's how I like to think about food. How can you improve each little stage? So okay, what we're going to do there now is the onion, the chilies and the garlic is softened. I'm just going to drop in the beans. It's a very low heat at the moment, because what we're going to do basically is keep this nice and warm. I'm just going to toss that through a little to cover the beans. And then I'm going to add in the soy. See the dark, it's a wonderful dark soy, this one. That's another thing. I know we've all gone through lockdown and things have been a little bit tight for a lot of us with work and what have you, but if you can afford to buy these things that are maybe a little bit more expensive, you'll just get much more out of them in the long run. You don't have to use as much in the dish, but you know, it's a false economy to buy cheap things, because you'll use twice as much of it and you'll not get the same flavour. So have a look in your local Asian supermarkets, in your local suppliers. Yes, it might cost a pound or two more, but absolutely, when you're sat at the table with your family, you'll know where that little bit of money went. Okay, so they're just swelling through. Like I say, what we're going to do is we'll blanch the beans off and cook them a little bit in the pan, and we'll finish them with the honey and the Chinese chives. So what we'll do, okay, so I've seasoned the flesh side of the fish. What I'm going to do is just quickly flip them up. Quite small, these ones. They're not big bass. It very much depends on the market, what's there on the day. So what I'm going to do is just gently oil the flesh side. And again, what I'll do is just gently season. It just helps crisp up the skin, and again, it helps it stop sticking. So those beans are ticking away nicely there now. We'll turn the heat on for the fish. You want to be a fairly high heat, because when they cook the fish, probably 3/4 of the way through on the skin side, turn the fish over, and it's literally finishing the fish, turning the pan off, and let the residual heat of the pan just cook the fish through. It's quite delicate, so like I say, it's probably only a couple of minutes on one side and about a minute or so on the other. Okay, so they're looking great. So Norman, do you find that you love is sea bass one of your favourite dishes as well?
It is actually, yes, because I love the delicate kind of taste and flavor and texture as well. So again, like compared to any other kind of a fish, for example, like salmon or mackerel, I do love them as well. And well, any type of like fish, I do like it, but not kind of a freshwater fish, because for me, it's like it's got this earthy smell, and that's not me being snobby, but it's just like the smell sometimes put me off a bit. So, but yeah, sea bass is always my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, sea bass is a great dish, but when I was down there as well, you can get sea bream. Sea bream's a very, very similar fish. It's not as expensive. This is another sort of benefit of going to your local fishmonger because I love turbot, but turbot's incredibly expensive. But there's something called a wolffish or rock turbot, which is very, very similar and about a quarter of the price. So when you are in these fish, these are the kind of things you find out that you can't find out by looking at a supermarket shelf.
So what other kind of fish that would you recommend if people don't want to use sea bass then for your recipe?
I would definitely use the sea bream. It's a really great fish. The benefit of this dish, the actual sauce itself, works really well with a really flash fried steak, a soy flash steak. If you wanted to do it that way, you could even do it with some mackerel, just some nicely grilled mackerel, finished with a bit of lemon over the top or a bit of lime juice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just coming up to temperature now. The beans are pretty much there, so I've turned the heat down. We'll cook the fish through, and I'll finish it with the chives and the honey. Just waiting for that to come up to temperature. Another little tip as well is when you're cooking fish or a piece of steak, particularly steak, if you're holding your hand about an inch away from the pan and it's too hot to sort of keep your hand there for more than sort of 5-6 seconds, that's where you want it. But for fish, maybe about 5-10 seconds. So it's not searingly hot, but it's hot enough to get a good crisp finish on the skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're about there now. Right, great. And when you're cooking the fish, if you've got asbestos fingers like me, just push the fish down to stop it curling up, and the finish will be slightly better. So just keep it nice and flat. Because these fish are quite small, I would normally do sort of 1 fillet per portion, but I'm actually going to do 2 per portion today. So when they go,
the beauty about cooking the fillet, I mean, it's not going to take long to cook it, isn't it? It's very.
Another thing is, this is very much personal preference. My wife and the kids don't like to see the whole fish, but they're quite happy to eat the fillet of the fish. So it's just a personal preference, but obviously it takes a little less time. So what I'm going to do is quickly wash my hands. We're going to drop in the Chinese chives to there. And again, it's just a case of letting the heat wilt the Chinese chives. And we'll finish it off with a lovely sweet runny honey. The honey's actually from a guy up the road who has a little farm. He's got hens, ducks. He's got a couple of horses. He's got a little beehive. So I get fresh honey from there as well. It's absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, the fish, when you're looking at the fish cook, you'll see the fish turn white. And as the whiteness travels up the fish, then it gets to about 3/4 of the way through. You can then flip the fish over and literally turn the heat off. If you're cooking something a bit bigger, like a salmon steak, similar way, but then you can turn it over and then finish it in the oven.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll turn the heat right down. Oh, lovely.
Good, it's nice and crispy.
There we go. Just letting that get nice and crispy. So the heat's now actually off in this pan because the residual heat will cook. So just quite a small sort of fillet, as you can see. The beans are almost there. I'm just going to finish these with a little bit of honey. Again, you want quite a low heat now because you don't want that honey to burn.
So would you eat this dish just as it is, or you would have like any accompaniment, like any other vegetables or something?
I mean, for me personally, because I love my carbs, I would perhaps serve with some noodles or some steamed rice. But you know what it is? It's if you've got enough greens, it's super healthy. You're getting your plant protein from the greens. You're getting vitamin C, vitamin D. It's a fabulous, healthy dish. So it's up to you. If you're like me, and you probably, you'd be looking for a sandwich or something later because you've not had enough food. But absolutely, this is. You can eat twice as many greens as this, and the calories aren't massive. This works out per portion at about 275 calories. So if you are looking for a dish that's sort of healthy, absolutely, this is worth looking at. Okay, so we're just about done. What I'm going to do is, you can see the plate here. So what I'll do is we'll just, on the plate, we just dress it with a little banana leaf.
Yeah. Oh wow! you thought it well. I mean, for the presentation and everything.
Again, this is just for the cameras.
Well, again, if anyone's watching, and then if they want the recipe for this, and of course they can go to Graeme website.
Absolutely. You can get them. And both Norman and I are on a website called cooklybookly.com, which is great. It's got a load of great chefs there. You can also find it on ravenousfox.com, which is my own personal website. And I will post on Instagram and on Facebook. Instagram is just ravenousfox1. So
okay.
Just finish the dish there. You can carefully lift out the sea bass. And I like to use handles because they look prettier. So they go across the beans with your fish. That's great. What I'll do is I'll just finish it with just a tiny bit of lemon juice, because lemon and sea bass is absolutely fabulous.
Wow. I'm salivating now just looking at that.
So
is that meal for one or for two?
Do you know what it is? I share this one.
Oh, that is very kind.
Small. But for me, that's one of the greatest things about cooking. Is just putting something in the middle of the table for everybody to share. But I'm looking like this dish, so it's a pan-fried sea bass with Asian green beans and Chinese chives, finished with a little soy paneer and garlic. So I hope you guys like it. I've absolutely loved doing this, Norman. Anytime you want me to do this again, April the 1st, obviously, was it's not an April Fool's joke, but
no, it's not.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Right, so it's gonna be my turn now to cook. Okay, so let me just get the setup and everything. So so you can see that all the details about where this recipe is gonna be. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, you will see the link there, and you can see Instagram for Graeme as well. Yeah, so you can see that. So Sandy put at the bottom of the screen there. So do follow Graeme after this, and then get inspired about cooking, because he's got like all other beautiful recipes as well, and you can always check at cooklybookly.com. Okay, so I have a page as well with all the recipes there. Right, so it's gonna be my turn now to cook. So what I'm going to do, there's an issue with my Instagram. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave and then come back again on the Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to be just 30 seconds. Okay, I'll see you shortly on the Instagram. I think there's okay, just do it now. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to get the screen bigger on mine. So we're going to have Graeme still online, so can you see all the questions? Like, okay, that's the alarm clock, all right? So let me just put this. Okay, let me just fill it with Instagram. So I'm gonna go live again, and there you go. So just the camera now, so everyone can see. Unfortunately, this is a downside when you have doing it everything mature. Well, it's not mature. It's like it's not like professional like kitchen where you have all the crew doing the cooking demo and everything. So so I'm gonna be showing you how to make this sea bass dish. Okay, like Graeme, what he did, like he fried it. Just well, with just a little oil, which is very healthy. So I'm going to show you how to make this a steamed sibas. Okay, so this is actually quite similar to what I have in my cookbook, Amazing Malaysian. Oh, you see that? Okay, this is more like a simpler version of a sibas dish. Okay, Waalaikumsalam, Norazini. So you can see that lots of people are just joining on the Instagram. Right, so for the ingredients, so I have here the steamer. Let me just show the camera. Here you go, better. So unfortunately, most of my cooking equipment are in the storage, so I have to improvise making like my own steamer. So which I have a wok here and with a metal thing in the middle, so with water underneath that, and as a cover, I'm going to use aluminum foil. How about that, Graeme? Very important.
Fantastic.
So I'm just going to cover it like that, and again, it's going to be like a very quick. When I say quick, less than half an hour. So I'm going to start by cutting this bok choy I have, yeah. So I'm just going to cut this into just about an inch long, and for the leaf, I'm just going to leave it long like that. I'm just going to put the camera a bit, okay. So I'm going to say welcome salam to many of our people just joining the Instagram again. So I'm just going to put this bok choy leaf that's been cut. So just cut the button. Because it's quite long, so that's why I'm just cutting them into smaller pieces. And then now I'm just going to steam it for a few minutes, like just about like between 3 to 5 minutes until it starts wilting, and then it should be ready. Okay. So I've got the water is ready actually. I'm just going to cover it up because in my storage I have the bamboo kind of a steamer, so the smell is actually really good. And this just this a bit. Okay. So while waiting for the one more ingredient that I need to put in is the cherry tomato, which I have here. So I have here about 8 cherry tomato, which I'm not going to cut. I'm just going to put as whole. And just quickly rinse it. So once you steam these vegetables, and then you see that the moisture, so the liquids coming out, okay, the juice coming out from the vegetables. So that's why I don't put any water whatsoever. Let's just steam this for a few minutes. Okay, and then while waiting for that to be ready, I have here the sibas fillet. Okay. So this is about 130 grams. Like you said, like you went to the fishmonger, to your local fishmonger. So here in Dallas, we have the farmers market every Thursday. So that's why we get all the fresh produce. So that's why I went to get this from the local market. And what I'm doing now, I'm just going to season this with salt and also white pepper. Okay. So I'm going to season both sides. So start with the inside, and then have here the white pepper. If you don't have white pepper, you can always just use black pepper. It's fine, yeah. Because but for me, the white pepper is more delicate in terms of flavor. Okay. So just salt and white pepper. There you go. Okay, so it just says it's very simple. So what I'm going to do now, so for presentation's sake, so I'm going to roll this up, right? And also it's going to look nice on the plate instead of just putting it just a one piece like that. Okay, so I'm just going to show you again with this one. So when you roll it from the tail first, okay, with the skin inside. So you will expose the flesh, right? And then that will absorb all this flavor, the dressing, the Asian dressing that I'm gonna show to you shortly. Okay, so that's how you prepare your sibas roll. Yeah, because when I run the cooking class, I leave before, so I wrapped it with a cling film just to keep kind of the size of it. But again, if it's in Malaysia, I mean, I would do it like with a banana leaf, but with the banana leaf, you have to wax it first because otherwise it's going to be quite brittle. Yeah, so it's going to turn apart. Okay, so sea bass ready. Let's check the vegetable. Let's see whether you can see it better. So you can see that start getting softer. Yeah. So I'm going to give it another, let's say, 2 minutes to be ready. So for the dressing, well, before I run through the dressing, okay, so these are for the garnishing, which I prepared. So I have here the chilies with julienne and then soaked in the water, cold water. So it's not kind of a curl up as round as I wish, but because it's quite thick, okay, but it's good enough to be good for the garnishing. And here I have the spring onion. Okay, so you can see that once I've soaked in the cold water, it's kind of curl up. You can see that. Okay, and also I have here the coriander as well. So these 3 ingredients I'm going to use for the garnishing. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the dressing now. So for the dressing, I have the lemongrass and also lime for the juice. Lime. Yeah. No, because I get always confused because over here, the lime, we call it lemon. Okay, so that's why, like, when I go shopping and everything, if I say for lemon, I mean the yellow lemon, but they think it's lime. Yeah, so just to let you know that. So, and then I have ginger, okay, just like a knob of ginger. And then 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, and then I'm not going to be brave. I'm going to just use half of the chili. Okay. But again, if you like it spicy, you can always just use bird's eye chili, like I have in my cookbook in my simulation. And then, yeah, so you can use as many as you want. But I'm very careful about my tummy. I don't want to upset my tummy, okay, by having spicy food all the time. Right, so I'm going to start with the chili first. With the chili, I'm going to cut it open and then remove the seed. So another tip that I want to share, if you want to remove the seed, you can always just use the teaspoon, right? You can just scrape it. And then there you go. Just going to put it in the sink first. So my rubbish go. And then I'm just going to chop this. So this can be just like a finely chopped. And after this, I'm going to do the same with garlic, ginger, and also coriander leaf. Yeah. Now let's have a look at the vegetables. Yeah, it's almost there. You can see it's gone really soft now. Okay. So 1 more minute and it should be ready. But again, like if you prep all these ingredients beforehand, it's going to be really quick for you to cook it because with sea bass, it's only take about, well, I would say about 15 to 20 minutes. Like I think by 15 minutes max that when you steam the fillet. Yeah. I mean, for the one that normally for Malaysians, they like to use like the whole sea bass. Okay, so and then that's going to take at least about like 30 minutes or so, depending on the size as well. Yeah. Do you remember what's the weight for your sea bass fillet just now? Because mine is about 150 gram, I think.
Yeah, I would say about something similar. It wasn't a big, because normally you can buy the bigger line coat bass that take a bit longer. That's about 140, 150 gram.
I see, yeah. Because the wild sea bass normally quite big piece, right? Big fillet.
Yeah, I mean they are. If you can get them, they are very expensive. But
yeah,
if you're doing a special occasion, a birthday or a party, to have the big sea bass in the middle of the table is just fantastic.
So okay, right. I have garlic and also ginger here, which I'm just gonna finely chop them. And also I have here about like 6 sprigs of coriander leaf. So again, I'm gonna chop together with the whole stock, yeah, because I don't like to waste all this. So it'll be nice for texture as well. Now I know that probably someone's gonna ask me like, why don't I blend all these ingredients together? But for me, like if I blend that, it's gonna kind of like mix together with the sauce that I'm gonna do with the fish sauce and also lime and everything, and it kind of you've lost all the texture. Okay, so that's something that I'm trying to avoid now. So it's nice to have a bit of a you can bite. I'm just gonna chop all this. Let's have a look at the vegetable now. Okay, looks like it's coated a bit. What I'm gonna do, just cook this out. And then I'm gonna put the fish, okay, together. And see that's gone soft. Because I'm gonna put this again at the bottom, because this is gonna create like a base for the fish. So just put here. Now I'm gonna put the fish in. So that's going into the steamer. So what time is it now? So 36. So let's say I'm gonna steam it for about like 10 minutes or so. So while I'm steaming that, I can get this the dressing ready. Okay, right. Let's get the dressing ready now. So just now, like you said, like you like it spicy, right? I mean, like how much spicy are you talking about then? When you
ordinarily at home, we'd probably put 3 Thai chilies into that dish. I cook a Thai papaya salad with some king prawns. That's very similar. Yeah, the thing is, though, yes, they are spicy, but they do have a nice flavor as well. It's not just heat. If you get the right chili, that is, and the right season for chilies as well, actually.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that I try to explain to Malaysians about not making it too spicy, but for me, it's just no, it doesn't work that way for Malaysians. Because I think partly because we've been trained, like from little, like to eat spicy food. It's like, yeah. So I think it's kind of like you felt like you've lost a kick if you're not having something spicy. And I think it's the same thing like Malaysians like eating rice, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then they travel abroad. Like for my late mom, when she went to Manchester before, and then she was like, I have to eat rice every day. That's what she told me, right? So I have to make sure that for lunch you always have rice.
Yeah. I think the thing is with chilies as well, if your food's got enough flavour, you can always carry the chilies in it because it's the flavour of the sauce that you're making with the lemongrass and the garlic.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see that. Let me just bring it to the camera. Okay, so it's kind of roughly chopped anyway. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so it's nice to kind of have a bite, like when you eat this dish. Just gonna put this. Okay. And then one more, which I'm gonna. Okay, so with the lemongrass, so this actually been in the freezer. So because again, can we just fry the fish instead of steam? Yes, of course you can. Right now, yeah. So you can always like follow what Graeme did. There was a question from someone about like instead of steaming, can you just fry the fish? Yeah, you can. I think what the viewers can do is just combine our recipe together. So. So you can have the sauce, my sauce. You can follow Graeme's style of frying the sea bass fillet. Yeah, so that's what you can do. And what you have to do right now, so you have to tag us after this, okay? So you have to tag both me and Graeme after this. So with the lemongrass, I'm just gonna thinly slice it. Good. Okay. So now, it's gonna be messy now. I'm gonna grab a bowl. I'm gonna mix all these ingredients. So we have the lemongrass. You have the chopped chili, half only, but if you want it spicy, you can put more. Okay. I think if I'm cooking for you, Graham, I'd have to put more chilies. What about your wife? Does she eat something spicy as well?
Way more than me. Way more. I'm
Really?
here, she's there.
That's the thing. Like when you have a restaurant, you always you don't know how spicy people want. See, so that's why always on the menu always put like if you want something spicy, you have to tell us. Yeah. So Malaysian standard is very very spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have all these like herbs and also the lemongrass, everything. So I have here the fish sauce, which I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons. Okay. And then the soy sauce. So that's about 3 teaspoons. And then I'm gonna cut the lime and squeeze half squeeze for the juice, half the lime. Okay, here you go. Okay, now you can see that it's kind of not much of a liquid at the moment. So what I'm gonna do after this, just get the juice that coming out from the fish, mix it together with this. Yeah. One more ingredient I'm supposed to add in is actually sugar, right? So again, with my with sugar is like a bit of like hit and miss. Sometimes I don't like too much sugar, but I'm just gonna add just a tiny bit, just like a quarter teaspoon, just to give it a bit of a sweetness to it. Okay. Okay, let me just tidy up this a bit. Sorry, typical chef, I can't see. My kitchen looks messy. So see whether we have any questions coming up. Yeah, there's quite a few on the Instagram. Let's have a look at the fish. What time is it now? So about 4 more minutes or so should be ready. Let's have a look. Can see that. I'm just gonna check with my fork, see, because again with the sea bass, like especially with filling, you don't want to overcook it, right? So you still want to get it nice and kind of oh, it's almost cooked actually. Yeah, it's almost cooked. Okay. I'm just gonna steam it for another minute, and then it should be ready. Okay, let me just have a bit of taste of the dressing I have here. I'm sure it's not very spicy anyway, so it's fine. It's nice, the kind of balance of everything. Yeah, okay. But what you can do is have a look if there's a fish like not much juice. If you're not cooking the sauce and vegetables together, there's a question just came through. You're not cooking the sauce and vegetables together. No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put back the vegetables after this once the sea bass is cooked through, and then I'm gonna pour the sauce on top of the fish, and then I'm gonna steam it for a few minutes. That's what's gonna happen. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So I've revealed the surprise already. It's supposed to be a surprise. Okay. Because what I'm trying to introduce is something like very simple. You don't have to worry about having like 2 cookers or 3 cookers at the same time. Everything's just gonna happen in the steamer. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right. Let's have a look. Okay. What I'm gonna do now. You can see like not much of a juice. Yeah. Just okay. So I'm gonna put this here because this is the bowl that I'm gonna serve the dish in. So I'm gonna finish off now. So put back the vegetables. So I think because it's quite chunky, I'm gonna steam for a few more minutes. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this sea bass. Ooh, that looks so good. Just gonna use the spatula. Then the Instagram can see it. Can you see it here? Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. Okay, so it's not much. It's very hot bowl. So it's not much juice here. That I'm gonna. You can see there's a bit of juice here, so which I'm gonna just mix it through. Just cover this up. I mean, another way of doing this, like instead of like changing bowls and everything, what you can do is just like steam the vegetables first, and then put the sea bass on, and then pour in the sauce. That's another way of doing it. Okay, so right, so we have the sauce is ready now. So I'm just gonna wait until the vegetables kind of wilted, and then I'm gonna pour this sauce on top of the sea bass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see whether we have any other questions, perhaps. Oh, we have a few there. Very easy to follow dish. There's Nick Wong. Nick, he's gonna be cooking with me next week.
Great.
So he's the one that based in Saint Faves in Mont Blanc, south of France.
Yeah.
And then Rahana say that I might change the fish with tiger prawn. Yeah, so you can do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anything. But don't forget to invite me and Graeme right now, okay? Just don't cook our recipes as well, as if that she lives nearby. So where are you at, Rahana? Can you just grate it? Yes, you can. I mean, that's something that I've learned from my friend actually. With the lemongrass, you can actually grate it. But because I used the frozen one, so it's gone soft. It's not kind of like still hard, okay? So yeah, you can grate the ginger, you can grate the garlic or crush the garlic. So and then the same thing with the lemongrass. You can do that as well. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, what's that? You're not cooking the sauce, the vegetables together. Yeah. So I just explained about that. So again, in future, what you can do is, I think for my recipe, what I'm gonna suggest: cook the vegetable first, and then put the fish, and then cook it for another 10 minutes or so, and then pour the sauce on top. As simple as that. Yeah. So it should be ready in half an hour. Because I'm too busy talking and everything just take longer than that. So someone just said that we'll definitely make it. Okay, so just don't try my dish, and then you can try the Graeme dish as well. That looks very simple. So like you suggested, Graeme, it's a Monday night dish, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. First thing, start the week off right, nice and healthy.
Yeah. So let's have a look. Okay, I'm just gonna check my vegetables and look at that. Yeah. So it's with it, soft. Yep. Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna make it slanting like that, and now I'm ready for the sauce. Okay. So let's see whether you can see that. So pour the sauce on top. So if you think that you need more sauce, right, what you can do is you can always just add like 100 ml of water in this dressing, okay? But again, like there's a juice coming out from the vegetables after this, so you're probably gonna have enough sauce to go with it. Right. So let's just steam it for 2 to 3 more minutes. Yeah, we've got plenty of time anyway. Let's chat about our future plan, what we're gonna do. Okay. So again, if you have any more questions, you can always just type up any questions or so. Okay, so we're gonna read out. Okay, Graeme, let's talk about your plan, your future plan.
Okay. Well, recently, with lockdown, a lot of people working from home. Colleagues haven't seen each other for such a long time, so it's a little bit of a nod to mental health awareness. So the work that I do, I support a charity called Mind in the UK, in North Tyneside, Northumberland. So it's about connecting. So just as we're doing here today, cooking together. So it's not just about what ends up on the plate, but absolutely about connecting with friends, family, colleagues that you haven't seen for a long time. Another thing I'm going to start doing as well is sort of like a date night dishes. So more often than not, it'll be one person in the kitchen at home, not a husband or wife. What I'm going to try and do is do something where you and your partner can cook together, something special. So you spend that time in the kitchen learning something new, possibly a glass of wine or a beer or whatever you want in hand, and just learn something new, but enjoy the experience. And then at the end of the day, sit down and enjoy a meal you've both created together. So that's something that I will be doing as well as doing things with kids.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a family thing as well. Where they can find out information about this then?
So what I'll do is I'll post it on Instagram, so RavenOusFox1. I'll also put out videos on there, so it'll tell you when things are coming up. It'll give you a little bit more insight into how long the sessions last. They're about 45 minutes to an hour, so it's not a huge amount of time out of your day. But just this setup, so it's not a commercial kitchen, it's a home kitchen. So it's very attainable to do it at home. So it'll be on Instagram, on my Facebook page as well.
Okay, good. Okay, great. So so do follow Graeme on the social media. So, and then of course for my project, I have this Travel Cook Eat, the one that's happening every month, almost every month. But I just did the Travel Cook Eat Malacca last Saturday, and our next event is on 29th of May. I'm going to invite you and your wife to watch. Because we're going to Kuala Lumpur. So if you, so you can watch it. It's a 2-hour show, and you can watch it. So I'm going to run cooking demo. To get people to get excited about Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So that's where we're going next. And then this Sunday, I'm having another cooking demo, but this is exclusively just for a Facebook group, a close Facebook group called Malaysian Food in United Kingdom. So if you want to watch me cooking with Malaysia, so you can join the Facebook group where we'll be sharing this dish that's famous for Eat Festival, because soon it'll be fasting month, and then the Eat Festival is going to be in May. So that's what's happening. So again, you're gonna see lots of all this, like a reminder or notification on my social media. Keep reminding people about so you can see that Sandy just put up my Instagram and also Travel Cook Eat, the details there. Right, let's have a look at the dish now. Let me just point the camera. So let's Sandy, can we have the big screen again? So just gonna put this away. Right. So after 2 minutes, and look at that.
Wow.
So I'm going to turn off the heat now. So the vegetables should be wilted. Sometimes I think that I have like a fiber hands touching the hot bowls without knowing it's really hot. So this is for the Instagram audience, so they can watch this. That's my steamed sea bass, and there you go. So this is enough for 2 people, and again, it's good to have it with rice. Let me just okay, it's not done yet because I have the final garnishing to do. So this is like if you go to the hotel, you always want to put like a mountain, like a peak of all the ingredients to go on top. So, and then you're gonna finish off with all this garnishing. God, that looks so greedy there. So there you go.
Stunning.
That's what it looks like. Just like put back on the top. Let me just grab some more chilies to make it nice and colorful. Okay, so if anyone wants the recipe for this, you can go to my website, www.nomamusa.com. Sign up to my newsletter, and this is going to go out to my newsletter next week. Okay, for today's newsletter that will go out this evening, you will get the recipe that I cooked last week, which is the chicken in coriander sauce that I cooked with Nora, friend. So Graeme, you have your dish there. Maybe you can taste a bit now. We got still a bit of time.
I will, I will definitely.
We just don't want to cook this, we want to eat this as well.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I'm going to taste it.
Okay.
I'll see how it goes. Really nice soft fish.
I'm trying to hold this without gosh, I cannot be a waiter. Can never be a waiter.
Good kick from the chili. And that little bit of honey sweetness at the end.
Yeah.
I'd love for you guys to try it.
Good, good. Okay, for anyone's watching on my Instagram, if you want to watch Graeme cooking this, so you have to go to YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so my YouTube channel, you can watch the whole show. You can see how Graeme shared some really good tips how to fry your fish. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of this, so you can see that there's a bit of juice there. Oh yeah, I can see that's a lot there. Mmm. Very refreshing. From the lemongrass, all the herbs, and everything's beautiful. So we're both gonna take photos. So you're gonna take a photo of your dish. I'm gonna take mine. So we're gonna put on the social media on Instagram. Okay. So yeah, right. So we have about 5 minutes left. 4 minutes left. Is there anything that you want to tell the viewers?
Do you know what it is? If this is something that anybody watching today wants to try, I mean, it's great that we can have this interaction. People can watch from wherever. But I love food from all over the world, and it's not just sort of the Asian dishes that I cook. So if it's Italian, if it's French, if it's Mexican, all those sort of things, I have a deep affinity, a deep love for Asian food right across the whole of Asia. But if anybody wants to join me and do these sort of dishes, please just drop me a message on any of the social media, and even if it's just tips or something you haven't tried before that you want to try, and it's not necessarily doing what we're doing today, but just a little bit of advice or on how you might want to do these dishes, and I'm absolutely always ready to help.
Well, that's very good, Graeme. Just to excite you, like we have people watching from Maldives, Afandi. So
Wow.
yeah. And then we have Nazreen watching from Cape Town, from Africa. So I haven't read all these comments on the Instagram yet. I'm sure, yeah, we've been watched by people around the world there. So okay, and then would you love to come back and cook with me again in future?
Oh, 100%, absolutely. I'll try not to do a sea bass dish with you too much pressure.
Well, no, actually, this is good because you're cooking in the sea bass like your way, like nicely fried and all that. So I'm doing steep. So I'm sure we're gonna see lots of like tagging on the social media after this. Yeah. So that's what we want to do. We want to inspire people to cook this at home, and then of course tag us when you do that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. So thank you very much, Graeme. Yeah. So for joining. Yeah. And also next week, I'm going to be cooking with Nicholas Wong. So Nicholas, he owns this beautiful hotel in Saint-Tropez, Mont Blanc, south of France. So that's something that we're all going for holiday there, Graeme. Yeah, so
yeah, sounds good to me.
The chef gathering, we're going to do that. So it's going to be the same time again, 2:30 in the afternoon, and then I'm going to be introducing another dish as well. And yeah, so every Thursday. So join us 2:30. Yeah, so. Definitely, I will bring back Graeme to cook another dish after this. Yeah. So we're gonna say goodbye now. Yeah. So thanks, Graeme.
Goodbye.
So thanks, everyone. Bye bye.